Brothers and sisters, thanks for joining today. Today I want to talk about Jaguar. I've always had kind of a special place in my heart for fine British automobiles, all the way back to when my aunt used to take me to see Bond films at the Odeon in Glasgow as a young boy. And one time, after coming back from, I don't know if it was Russia with Love or Goldfinger or what the movie was, but it was definitely a Bond film. She introduced me to my first fine British motor car. So I still have it. So, my aunt got me the iconic James Bond Goldfinger DB5. This was back sometime in the 70s. I still have it, and I still even have the little bad guy that Sean Connery flings to infinity and beyond. So again, I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for these fine, British motor cars. But, an Aston Martin is probably out of the price range of any, regular type person. But there's also the Jaguar. People could aspire to owning a Jaguar. And come on, is there a finer looking automobile out there than the classic Jaguar E-Type from the late 60s, early 70s, and on? In British racing green, who wouldn't want that as a car? So again, just something to aspire to. So I was really excited when I saw that Jaguar was doing a rebranding and we're coming out with a new line of cars. And I remember, hey, I'm really looking forward to this. When I was in business school, the professor used to tell us about the four P's. Price, place, product, and promotion. So I'm sure this is going to be an awesome marketing campaign. And, they've just recently released the video in like the last 3 weeks of, their new lineup. It's going to be great, but let's take a look at it and just watch it and just glory in, everything that is Jaguar. Be hard getting in a car in that skirt. Okay. So that's the new video. 3 million views in 2 weeks. I noticed they've turned off their likes. We don't know how many likes they've got out of 3 million views. I wonder why they would do that. And yet, I think back to my four P's, and I'm like, well, I didn't see the product. There was no price. The place is some pink desert. Okay. Interesting place to drive your Jaguar. I think Bond would probably approve of that. We could get that in a Bond movie. And promotion. Okay, it's definitely promotion. So maybe, okay. So, I'm really not up with the current marketing trends. And so, but my professor in graduate school did, tell us there was also 6Ps. He actually liked the 6P model better, to be honest. And in the 6P model, you had presentation and people. Well, this video was all about people and presentation. I'll give them that. So, okay. All right. So copy nothing. Well, they definitely didn't copy the E-Type. That's for sure. And it's very pastel, but I really like my, racing green. But okay, fair enough. I wonder what their marketing folks are thinking about, because they definitely added product into this one. So I'm sure they're going to get the price and the other P's eventually down the road, probably their next video, I'm sure. But what what might they be thinking? What might they be focusing on here? Why did they do this? Well, you know what? I found another video, and so I want meet Jaguar Santino Pietro Santi. I hope I said that right. He was speaking at the Attitude Awards in 24. He is the marketing brand manager for the UK for Jaguar and Land Rover. And as Jaguar Land Rover, they are theoretically British companies, but they're actually Indian now. Tata in India bought them back a few years ago. But anyway, this is one of their top marketing guys at Jaguar. I'm sure he had a lot to do with this ad campaign. Let's what he has to say.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot believe I'm up here. Right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Attitude. It is a true honor to stand here surrounded by such extraordinary individuals, trailblazers in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, creativity, and self-expression. We're here to celebrate you, the ones who, despite everything, keep that vital flame alive, the flame that refuses to be extinguished no matter how hard the world might try. We live in a time where the fight for equality feels harder than ever. And around the globe, we are seeing progress threatened, freedoms questioned, and our rights rolled back. But that is why tonight matters. Each one of you in this room is a testament to resilience and courage. And you remind us that our strength is in our individuality and that no one should be forced to hide who they truly are.
I'm used to marketing guys like in the Mad Men TV show.
And at Jaguar,
they usually dress a
we're
little bit
passionate about our
more in
people.
suits, but I
We're
guess
committed to fostering a diverse,
he's young now, and
inclusive, and unified
it is
culture
the
that
Attitude
is
Awards, I
representative
guess.
not only of the people who use our products, but in a society in which we all live, a culture where our employees can bring their authentic selves to work. And we're on a transformative journey of our own, driven by a belief in diversity, inclusion, creativity, policy, and most importantly, action. We've established over 15 DEI groups, such as Pride, who are here tonight in the back.
Definitely has attitude.
Thank you guys for coming. Women in Engineering and Neurodiversity Matters. We've launched major policy revisions, such as transitioning at work, to drive equity and support for our communities, embracing individuality as our superpower.
Oh, individuality is our superpower. Okay.
And only 2 weeks ago, we held our second global annual DEI summit where we had over 10,000 employees from around the globe attend. And this journey is going to continue for us at Jaguar, and we are going to set the benchmark for our industry. That's right. So looking forward at Jaguar, creativity and individuality have been at the core of Jaguar's brand since its inception, and we're about to bring Jaguar back to something truly special. And so as Darren mentioned, in a couple of weeks, you will see an all-new Jaguar turn up like never before. And we're not just talking about new cars, we are talking about all new ways of thinking and embracing the full spectrum of human potential and creativity. Because Jaguar has always stood for fearless originality, striving to be a copy of nothing. And we believe that every person has the potential to be something unique, something original, and that's what makes us strong. And at Jaguar, we proudly stand with the LGBTQ+ community because we know that originality and creativity thrives in spaces where people are free to be themselves. And I can tell you as a young gay man, I dreamed of working at a car company, as cheesy as that sounds, but I never imagined the day where I would actually have a seat at the table or the ability to realize my own dreams, because it felt so far out of reach, because I was absolutely terrified to just be myself, and now I'm finally here.
All right, I think that's probably enough of that. Um, so, all right, it's all about they've got cars, yeah, but it's really all about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a gay man at the table. He's so proud to be at the table. Um, but again, you know, I kind of go back to um, you know what Elon said. Do you sell cars? And so, I think Jaguar, their marketing is kind of behind the times. I think that their marketing director kind of missed the boat. I think this marketing campaign might have gone a little bit better, a few years ago, but their main audience is people like me. You know, Jaguar is not an inclusive car company. They don't want to be inclusive. Again, back in business school, I learned about prestige goods, and Jaguar is definitely a prestige good. If you really wanted to be inclusive and sell cars to everybody and grow your market that way, what you would do is make a car for sub $20,000 and sell it in India. It is an Indian company after all. But you don't want to do that. Jaguar commands a premium because it's such a cool car and it's a luxury item, and so you can't have both. There was another company that tried to reach out to a larger audience and get everyone that they could, and they were all about diversity, equity, inclusion too. I kind of would have liked to have thought that Jaguar marketing would have learned from Dylan Mulvaney and the Bud Light episodes that DEI is not the way to sell cars. Now, I get why they do it. Yeah, DEI is great for your ESG score, and your ESG score is great because big equity funds can go out and say, "Hey, we can get more investors if we get these very liberal groups to invest in the products." Groups like teachers and unions, and big funds like that. I don't think that Jaguar is going to have a Bud Light problem. I think it's going to be a smaller problem than that because their demographics are a little bit different. But you know what? You want to sell your you know if you're Jaguar and you're selling premium goods, you want to sell to people who are relatively affluent, usually a little bit older. That tends to be conservative. You're probably selling to an American or a European audience, um, and that's where these ads were probably made for. But in America, Donald Trump just won the election, and his people are all saying we're going to get rid of DEI. So I don't think it's going to completely crush them like it did Bud Light. It's not a good time to be trying to use DEI to sell Jaguar. So I go back to, this is the Jaguar of old. This is the Jaguar of new. And people like me who are the target demographic of Jaguar today, um, I'm telling you right now, I want the old one, not the new one. The new one looks like a Tesla. If I wanted a Tesla, I'd buy a Tesla, but that's a much smaller market than, people that want, sports cars. And to be honest, Jaguar's struggling anyway because people just really don't want sporty, sports coupes. People want big SUVs in America anyway. I'm only speaking for America. So what kind of impact has this had on Jaguar's stock price? As you can see, their price isn't doing very well, but for people that are saying it was because of this ad, I think that that's unfair. How is this ad campaign translating so far into stock price? Now, to be fair, it's only been out about 3 weeks, and so it came out mid November ish, And if you can see this chart, there was a tiny dip in mid-November, and then it's pretty much gone stable. And so far, to be fair, this ad campaign has not hurt their stock price. It was already tanked, and it was tanked back. It looks like something really bad happened in August, and it's more likely it's Tata Motors overall is doing poorly, and their stock price is way down. It's down way further than Jaguars, and it's just people just don't want sports coupes today, and especially luxury sports coupes. So yes, I get that they need to rebrand, and but I don't think making an electric car that looks like that, and I definitely don't think making a very artsy, um, ad campaign really is appealing to their core demographic, and that's who they really need to appeal to. They need to figure out car commercials that appeal to people like me. If you really want to be inclusive, you're not selling Jaguars. You're not selling 50, $60,000 plus cars. You need to be selling 20, $30,000 cars to people of all socioeconomic groups. So I think the marketing guys are just a little bit behind the curve, and I don't think the marketing guy went to his finance class where they talk about sunk cost after the Trump election. Honestly, they should have shelved this whole program, but I know he'd probably get fired because then the CEO would be like, "Why'd you waste all your money on this?" But then, lastly, I just want to say the CEO isn't helping them either because I think the CEO went to the Disney School of PR because right after this came out, what did he do? Oh, this has been a great campaign. It's been well received. By who? All of their, rating counts have been turned off. You can't actually see how the likes and dislikes. We all know why that is. They've been ratioed down into the basement because people don't like these ads. And so, of course, it can't be because you made a bad ad or you're making a bad product now, because that'll get you fired. We need to keep doing that ESG stuff so that the equity funds will keep buying our product or buying our companies, and we can all get lots of money. It's got to be the customer's fault. It's the public. The public are just hateful, and according to the CEO of Jaguar. No, that's what Disney tried. When you're making a bad product, people won't buy your product. At some point, you got to take responsibility. Again, I go back to we need to be critical thinkers, and we just don't. We're just not that way anymore. We don't teach that in schools for some reason anymore. Well, anyway, thank you for spending the time with me, brothers and sisters. I hope you found this useful. Whether you did or not, like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave me comments if you think I got this wrong, if I got this right, whatever you think.